Please remember, when you're finding the area between two curves, you must go top minus bottom always.
Sorry about that, but it's true. Okay, so let's read this. The region is bounded by the graphs 2 pi or 2x over pi and sine x are shaded in the figure above, blah, blah, blah. Which of the following finds the area of the regions? Okay, so we need to label our two curves. This one's definitely 2x over pi. We know because it's straight, and we know this one has to be the sine x. We know because it's curvy. Okay. So top curve minus bottom curve. So let's separate our sections here and find our first integral. The first integral is from negative pi over 2 to 0. And the top curve for this one is the line. Okay, so I know it's weird. It feels weird, but it's not. It's not the bottom curve. That's the top curve. So we go top curve, and then we have minus bottom curve. And then after we do that, this is what we would be left with. We'll be left with the region that we want. So we're going to go top curve minus bottom curve, dx, and then we're going to add the area of the region next to it, which would be from 0 to pi over 2. This one's not confusing because it's above the x-axis. And if you're thinking, like, this is not confusing, don't worry. Some people are confused. You're awesome. Okay, so we have the top curve, then we have the bottom curve. We take away the bottom curve. We have to subtract the 2, and then we get our answer. Okay, I'm going to explain really quickly, though, what happened with the first area in a second here. Really quick, there's our answer. And actually, the very bottom answer, if they put negatives on these two, those would be right, too. The thing with these guys down here is that this will give you a negative area, and this will give you a negative area. Now, areas are not negative. You can't have a negative area here, okay? So just like in geometry, you can't have a negative side. So here, let me show you something really fast. Just hypothetically, let's say that that for this area right here, the top curve's area was -5. Just hypothetically, just making up a number here. And then we do the area between the x-axis and the bottom curve, we get -8. And remember, we subtract the 2. Look what happens when we subtract these. That becomes a +8, and we get a +3, which makes sense because this area right here would be a positive area. And if you had the 2 switched, you wouldn't get a positive area, you would get a negative area, and it would be wrong. Okay, that's why this is your answer right here. Okay, you have to go top curve minus bottom curve, and in this case, this guy's a top curve.